Saturday, guys, got a day off. Unfortunately, my the old ball and chain is making me go to IKEA. So what I'm going to do is a little bit of pond stuff. I'm just sorting some stuff up at the moment. I've been leaving stuff in carnage, so everything's getting sorted out. The boy's been playing with his toys and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to clean that all out. The foliage I've got in here, guys, I've noticed. So this side here looks absolutely fantastic. The other side, because it's not getting enough sun, I'm going to stick those down into the other side of my sort of greenhouse lean-to thing. See if I can bring those back to life with a little bit of loving care and sun. Well, they should come back. They're not dead, but they're just suffering because they're in that corner. The other ones are doing fine. So I'll take those out, put those down there. I'm going to give this place a good general clean. Then I'm going to do some absolute quality water tests, and I'm going to take some koi out to scrape them, because I don't know what it is. I'm always one step behind. Like I said, the koi are doing absolutely fine. The koi that was ill last week, that had that white build-up of mucus or polyps or whatever you would call it on it, I decided to take reasonably drastic action, and I give it a PP bath. It's obviously it's a very harsh form of treatment, but I can tell you now that koi is definitely thanking me for it. I'll show you him later on, and he's absolutely, within 3 days it had all cleared up, you know. He came out, and obviously the potassium will stick to any sort of like pretty much badness, do you know what I mean? And he's absolutely fine now. Literally, it's I think I caught it early on, and it's all lovely, it's all healed up now, and he looks a lot happier. So I'm very happy with that. One of the koi, one of my big Issa showers in there has got, one of its dorsal fins has got a little bit of a red patch on it. So I don't like that. Like I said, it's not bad or anything. It's just got, I noticed it yesterday, it's got a red patch on it. So there must be an underlying problem in this pond still. I think sometimes it's really hard to pinpoint what's going on, you know. And the only thing that will tell you is your water parameters and your fish. As far as I can tell, my water parameters are okay, unless I'm missing something. So what I did do is, I went up to a lovely little shop up in Haverfordwest, which is right over by on the end of Pembrokeshire, basically. It's my hometown, funny enough. They got a lovely little shop there called Coastal Aquatics, and it really is a good shop. It's sort of like a little industrial building, and well, they have got a very good setup there. Bumped into one of my cousins works there as well. Couldn't get any discount, but I didn't expect it. But they sell Oase drums there, just on the shop floor. Oase drums, Nexus 220s, all the Evolution range, pretty much a lot of the Oase range. You know, not the compact L, but they've got the M drums there and stuff like that. Easy pods. They specialise more in the aquarium side, and they've got everything you can wish for the aquariums. It's a really, really good place. Next time I'm up there, what I'll do is I might do a little video. They took me into the back of their not their quarantine facility, but their filtration, because they do sell some lovely koi down there, and they're all supplied by Ricky from Koi Wholesale. So, you know, there is some lovely fish down there. So if anybody is in the Pembrokeshire area and you're after some quality fish from quality breeders, and obviously a quality whole supplier, so you know they're safe, they're going to be quarantined very vigorously and graded to a high standard, pop down to Coastal Aquatics. When you're down there, tell them that you bumped into me and I was the one who sent you down. And say hello to my cousin for me. He's the ugliest one in the shop. So what we're going to do now is, so this is going to be split up into two parts today. So I'm going to do a little bit of clearing now, then I'm going to come back from IKEA, probably a lot lighter, as in pocket-wise, and then I'm going to have a real good clean out. I'm going to do some really good water tests, and what I'm going to do is some very extensive scrapes, because something is getting past me. Something is getting past me. I'm going to test again for chlorine, because I stopped putting the chlorine over the plants, the tap water over the plants, which was causing me a problem, I think, because there was no chlorine coming out of my big blue, but there was chlorine in the pond. Very strange. So that's the only thing it could have been, is that. Now I don't use the hose around the pond at all, and if I ever do, which I will later on actually, but I'll do the chlorine test before that, so that's definitely nipped in the bud, and that's nowhere in the equation. And I'm going to come in here, I'm going to do all those. I'm going to take some fish out, especially the one that's got a mark on it, on the fin. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to mildly sedate it, only a little bit, because I just want it to be placid, so I can do a belly scrape, and I'm going to attempt to do a gill scrape as well. Now, I've never done a gill scrape, however, I have seen how to do it from an expert. So yeah, so we're going to do a gill scrape as well. It's actually easier than it. I think it's easier than it looks. It looks pretty invasive because it's inside the body, but like it's actually not. It's like lifting a saggy armpit and having a scrape round, I guess. But like I said, some of the fish are still holding mucus, so there's got to be something going on there. It cannot be nothing. There must be something there. And today is going to be the day when Mr. Columbo has to potter around with this water and these fish. And do you know what? What I'm going to have to do as well, probably, is a scrape on the toes eye. The toes eye are fine, but they've come out of this pond 3-4 weeks ago. So if I've missed something in this pond, obviously it's injected into that one. Now, I know there's nothing horrendous in the ponds, but there must be something that's upsetting these fish, causing a mucus build-up, and some of them getting a bit run down and upset. So let's do that. Another thing as well, guys, is I've done the drum. Great response from the drum. I think I'm too hard on the drum, mate, because I really do love that drum, and I've got a massive announcement to make later on today. People are going to laugh, and they're probably going to think I'm slightly mad, but I am mad. You know what I mean? So, yeah, so I think that's part of the parcel of joining this channel, is I can't sit on my ass and do nothing, so I think you know what's coming. And it ain't an extension on this pond, it's quite possibly a new one. Maybe even 5,000 gallons worth of new one. Anyway, we'll talk about that later on, and I'll tell you my plans, which is going to happen. I've actually cleared it with a ball and chain as well, the long-haired general. She's actually like that. Do you know what, Lee? For your PTSD, that would be a bloody good idea. Because if I sit down and I do nothing, I get a little bit angry, and a little bit touchy, and a little bit feely. So, yeah, I don't like being angry, so let's dig another hole. The Oase drum, and like I said, this is why I can't be too hard on that Oase drum. Yes, it does collect a little bit of crap, but I've solved one problem, and I know I can solve the other problem. So, because of a comment that Daz has put on my last video. So this is why I love my channel, is because I'm nowhere near the expert I appear. Right? I take all of my advice from these comments. They're really good. Some of them just repeat, which is fine. Some of them I kind of agree with someone's chain of thought, but I might not necessarily do it, or it might be something I would do if the other comments didn't work. Do you know what I mean? And some people have been keeping koi for 30 or 40. I mean, one guy contacted me and said, I've been keeping koi for 40 years, try this. And I was like, oh, shit the bed, yeah. Why not? And it's worked. So these things are amazing, and I get really great guys. There's a great Irish guy from America, I'm not going to mention any names, but he's an amazing hobbyist, and mate, his pond's fantastic. Like, he's got 2 ponds, they're absolutely madly cool, like, you know what I mean? And he was telling me about his journey, about, like, you know, you know, you do get a lot of heartbreak in this hobby. Ironically, mate, he had 2, I'm sure it was 2, no, he had 3 or 4 Denichi fish get sent over to him last week from his mate in Hawaii. So I think it's coming the opposite way around the world, the koi are, than what we're getting. And his mate, I don't know why he's done it, and maybe it's just an accident or something like that, but he put 4 way too big a fish in a box, and yeah, they were dead on arrival, and that was like $2,000 down the drain. And not even that, obviously, it was the well-being of the actual fish themselves. But you know, it's like, it's mind-blowing what people can do wrong, and what Mother Nature can just throw at you, isn't it? So anyway, right, what was I talking about? Yes, the drum. So like I said, when I've been thinking about my dream pond, I've been thinking about, well, I do all the work myself. Possibly apart from the fiberglass in this time, because I think I'm going to ask Matt to come down and do it with me. Yeah, just to make sure everything's bang on, and to learn a little bit more about the dark side with my Muckagee mat and splints. So, yes, 5,000 gallons. And like I said, when I was thinking of the filtration, the only thing that was coming back into my head was the Oase drum. So, you know, I think genuinely with the Oase drum, I'm absolutely in love with it. It's literally just teething problems. Maybe it's just how, okay, so the Oase drum there is fitted in quite tight. I got one bottom drain which is right in the corner, okay, which was actually fitted there, custom, placed there, ready for a Nexus 220, and it worked very well on the Nexus 220. I could open and close the ball valve lovely, I could purge it, it was fantastic, right? So I can't slag off the drum for, not a mistake that I've made, but a bodge that I've had to make to fit my dream drum in here, right? I'm not back-footing now, wherever you call it. Oase UK hasn't phoned me up and said I don't like that video. No one's contacted me at all, apart from a couple of people to possibly sort out the problem. But what my problem is I think that you've got 3 inlets on this Oase Compact L, right? So I've got one inlet, one drain connected to one bottom, and then the other drain is connected to the top one. So basically I've got like a drain gun in there and a drain gun in there, but the spare one is down there. So I suppose everything that's coming off the drain is actually, it's creating a system and it's going back in. So that's one problem. So what someone has suggested, and someone has suggested, why don't you move them, or why don't you do like a T and put the 2 drains into, the 1 drain into 2 outlets or inlets. Yeah, but it's just too tight to get in there. I can't get in there. It's just, I just can't. So obviously when I build the next pond, it's going to be tailor-made. Absolutely tailor-made for that. And I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I'm possibly thinking about either selling this one and getting one of the massive drums, just the drum itself, because of the turnover, and then that will provide the exact amount of turnover that I want in that pond. And I'm going to make myself a custom bio chamber, which will hold about 1,000 litres of K1, I think. So I'll probably, when I'm thinking about it, I'll probably actually, when I'm fiberglassing the pond, I'm going to fiberglass a custom chamber inside, which will almost look like a small growing show pond, I guess. And it'll have, the water will have a load of retention time in there, a lot of retention time. I've also been looking at trickle towers. Now, if you go into Koi Partner and you go back on their videos, and if you don't follow Koi Partner, I suggest you do, because it's absolutely amazing. There's one there where they're in Zurich or whatever it's called, and they're in the Koi Lounge. And if you go onto Koi Lounge website, they've got German, I think they're German or Dutch made, big bio towers. I really like those. I really like those. I'm sure something like that could be made. I'm not sure if they can post to the UK or not, but when I'm ready for one, or weeks before I'm ready for one, if I do want one, I'm going to get one. And if I've got to go over to Germany for a spin, I'll go to Koi Lounge for a spin, stick it on the back of the truck and come back. It would be, what a Koi adventure. What I'll do is, I'll try to sort of like go around a couple of the really good ponds. I'll talk to the guys there, and we'll just do hell of a Koi journey, you know what I mean? Like, why not? Why not? Why not? I'm my own man. I've got cut off, and fuel prices are extortionate. So what else do you want to do? Another thing I've been thinking about is the amount of problems I've had with all the Backy House media, and a lot of things I've been watching about it, is I think it's extremely hard to get bacteria out of shower media. Two reasons. The media itself obviously is designed in such a way to have tiny, millions of little holes for bacteria, a massive surface area for bacteria to live on, which absolutely works fine. They're trying to mimic pumice stone, which is, yeah, okay, I get it. But because the water is falling over the shower media, a lot of people will take that shower media out when they're doing a treatment, put them into onion sacks and hang them in the pond, do a PP treatment, do a Alpha X treatment, whatever they want to do, right? Which makes total sense, because the whole media is submerged in the water, and the water pressure is going to permeate through into the media, which is going to actually also send all the treatment into there. When it's aerobic like it is right now, and it's all trickling down, yes, of course there is some of that treatment going through, but it's not pressurized, so possibly they're not getting the dose that they should do to clear all the parasites out of the media. That's another thing that's in my mind, right? So if I had a trickle tower in my new filter house, which will be about this size, I guess, where I'm going to put it, I'll show you all later. I think I might get I might get another Backy shower like that, a stainless steel one. Put them on the pond, but literally like the Sakai Fish Farm does, they've got massive Backy showers there, but they've got no media in there. All they do is just put a massive flow rate of water over there to smash the water, to basically gas off all the nitrogen. So even though there's nothing in that Backy shower, it's gassing off nitrogen anyway, which is obviously a massive pollution that will go into the water. So that's another idea. But mate, all of these things that I'm thinking right now is what I've learned in the last 18 months. Now, I have lived Koi for 18 months, so I think I've learned 5 years worth of Koi keeping in 18 months, because I have jumped in balls deep, right? So yeah, I'm going to put pencil to paper later on, and then we'll go from there. I think I can hear a little Wolfie boy. Yep, was it a Wolfie boy? What is his dad? So yeah, I've realised that this video is already 14 minutes, but I think what I've said is actually reasonably valid points. So anyway, we'll talk about the pond build next. And I know you think I'm mad because I might be moving from this place, but me and my missus, we've been sitting down and we've been thinking, we've got such a lovely little life at the moment. Money is not, obviously money's always a stress, but like we're both in good places at the moment. And we think to ourselves, do we really want to stress right now buying a new house? Possibly not. So I'm quite happy to sit on this. If the new house comes along that we want, we'll get it straight away. And I'll just build another pond. I don't care. I love it. But I'm going to build my dream, not my forever pond, but my next edition dream pond here. And I'll show you exactly where that's going to go later on. What's it going to cost? A couple of new bottom drains and some blocks. I don't care. I've got all the equipment here. Do you know what I mean? You know, yes, I can use that drum if I wanted to. I've got all the electrics. I've got everything I need here. It's only materials that I'm going to need to build that, and time, which I've got loads of, and effort, which I'll put maximum in, and that's it. Like, yeah, I just love doing it. So what I'm going to do is, that is not going to be starting until I come back from Japan. So I'm going to Japan with the Stoddards in October. So I would say November, because that side of the garden, that's where it's going to go. That side of the garden literally turns into an absolute bog, right? Because it's always in the shade, which is another reason why I'm doing it that side, because the pond will always be pretty much in shade apart from the very early morning, where they'll get a little bit of dose of sun. So I'm going to start digging that out and start prepping all of the groundwork from that. There's going to be a lot of earth coming out there. I'm going to do a new retaining wall in between me and my sister's house. The retaining wall then is obviously going to be backed up as one of the pond walls, and then we're going to be coming off. But the pond, I think I've worked it out, it's going to be 2.5 meters wide, 6.5 meters long, and 4 foot deep. No, not an inch, not a centimetre more than 4 foot. What I've learned is it's the footprint of the pond, not the depth of the pond. I'm not going anywhere over 4 feet. I don't want any problems with swim bladders, and I think that's absolutely fine. The pond's going to be heated, so there's not being a problem there. I wouldn't even care if the pond was 3 foot deep, but we'll go for 4 foot deep, and we'll go from there. But anyway, we're going to go to IKEA now. And I'm going to be thinking a bit more about this, and I think Wolf's just chucked something off the balcony. I'll be back soon. My God, guys, I've had such a busy day. It's unbelievable. So, IKEA was a win-win chicken dinner. That's the one. Didn't come out of there spending a penny. No, had 2 coffees. Winner. Tried to get a woman in there and back out without spending anything, and then you'll realise how good that is as a fella. So I'm back quite late. Yes, the sun's up, but I don't think I'm gonna have enough time now to scrape these fish, because we popped into a friend's for a couple of drinks as well. So yeah, no scrapes today, but I'll do another video tomorrow. I'm gonna take the boy out in the morning on my own, have a little bit of a wrestle and male bonding, and then I'll come back to a scrape. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mark out the position of the pond. Right, here we go, guys. Got the old ScoPro micro out, and I've got the old bowl there with a bit of sedate in there, not too much, just enough to calm the fish down so I can give them a good scrape, because I need to get underneath them. I'm going to do the gills as well, because there's something haunting this pond. I'm not quite sure what it is, so let's get to the bottom of it and do a really good investigation. So there we are, guys. First out of the pond is the Omosako Shiro. I can see a tiny blemish on one side. So let's see what's going on. The next fish I'm going to take out is going to be the Isashoa, but we leave this one now chill out for a couple of minutes. I'm going to spin it around, and I'm going to do a scrape of its belly, a scrape of the back, and well, first time for everything, I'll do a scrape of the gill. So yeah, let's see what happens. Three lovely clean slides. Put them on the side there. There we are. So, quite a lot of red coming on this fish, guys. So, that's the body. There's the belly. And there's the gill, guys. That was very easy. So what I'm going to do is introduce this now straight back into the pond. Little tiny red mark there, which could be an indication of parasitic problems. Apart from that, the fish is very clean. Very nice example of a Shiro Yatsuri. So here we are. Guys, flukes are still in there. It's insane. Like, how many times do I have to clean my drum and treat? I'm gonna have to try something else, because the fish are not liking it. The fish are getting ill. Like, do you know what I mean? It's getting a bit beyond now. Wowzers! Like, unbelievable. I just can't believe it's still on the go. Like, that's probably like the third time I've done a session of treatments in the last 3 months. I've just done a couple of scrapes on the quarantine pond as well, and the quarantine pond is littered with them. Like, literally littered with them. It's like, it's insane. Right, I'm gonna have to think about this, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to contact a couple of people before I do anything drastic. So I've scraped 3 fish. There's flukes. Not a load on this main pond, but there is one scrape had a lot of flukes. On that first Yatsuri, a lot. What do I do? Crazy. The quarantine pond, I scraped one of the small tozai in there. Literally, I've never seen as many flukes as I did in there. So obviously, when I put them across there, and I haven't treated that pond because they weren't really acting suspiciously, apart from one was a little bit sluggish today. I checked the nitrate and the ammonia, and that was actually quite acceptable. Done a little scrape on it, crawling, literally crawling. It's actually made me feel itchy. What do I do? I'm going to have to do something pretty harsh, because these little buggers are not going anywhere. And that Lernix is just not touching the sides, it seems. I don't know. Right. I don't know. Leave the parasitic problem with me. And what I'll do is I'm going to phone some people tonight and ask some advice. And what we'll do for the rest of this video is have a little look at the pond that I plan on building with a built-in parasitic catching device. That would be good, wouldn't it? Like, you know, like the flies, when you go to the restaurants, you get those blue flies that zap everything. Imagine if you could have one of those. Whoever designs a fluke catch or zapper for a pond is going to be a very rich man. Go on, Donald here, you can do it. Oh, right, okay. Let me sort this out. So guys, just cleaned up my drum again. Loads of crap in it. But what I have bought is this thing here from a recommendation from a guy called Daz, who's got a little supply company. And yeah, this blocks off one of the inlets that's not used. So let me show you. So this one here goes into there. So that one there is thin enough to block that one off. What I'm also going to do is cut some black pipe to extend these out by about 6 inches, so all the inlet goes actually further in. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to probably do that right now. Let me have a little look what I've got. Right then guys, this is what I've come up with. So that's the cap. I put a little bit of insulation tape on there just to make it a proper nice snug fit. And what we've got is some 110mm tubing, probably about, what's that, 6 to 8 inches. A little bit of tape there just to make it a little bit more solid. But what I plan on doing with this is, there we are. So I'm going to take a little bit off there because it wouldn't go straight in. But what that will do is, instead of it coming out there and maybe dropping down, it's going to deposit it right in the center of the screen. I've got a funny feeling that's going to make one hell of a difference. And I need to say thank you to Daz for giving me that idea. Such a simple idea. Do you know what? When you think outside the box, things can come together a little easier. So that might be a lovely, lovely addition to an Oase drum. So let's see. I've just cleared out a load of muck from there again, just after 1 week. I've cleaned it out again, and I've just purged the drains once more, ready to treat the pond again tomorrow. I don't know what to treat the pond with yet. So what I have got here, I've got some PP, which will absolutely blitz the pond because there's something going on there. I don't know what. I need to get this pond sanitized again. It's a crazy thing. I've also got some Lernix Pro. I've got some Fluke Resolve or whatever it's called as well. But anyway, so the pond's going to be sanitized. It's going to be filled up to the maximum amount again tomorrow, so I know we're bang on 10,000 litres, so I can wake up in the morning, treat the pond, and really keep an eye on the fish. And I just hope to God that it's going to be the last time, because I just don't know where flukes are hiding. Like, obviously I'm giving an evil eye to my shower at the moment, but yeah, anyway, let's get these in and get it filled back up and see what's occurring. Yeah, so there we are, guys. That's what it looks like with the extension on. Not too shabby, to be honest. That's in there nice and snug. Can't even move it. Like I said, it's just going to deposit, instead of anything falling down into that gap there, it's going to pull it across and hopefully deposit it more to within the central area of that. Thank you very much for some people that told me that this mesh wasn't quite situated right. Do you know what, right? When you buy a drum this expensive, you don't expect things like that to be out of situ or out of sync. So when I seen that pulled over a little bit, I just assumed that that's how the manufacturer wanted it, naively. But anyway, yeah, these things should be really looked at more carefully and monitored before they get sent out. Anyway, whatever. That's not the end of the world, and that's done now. And that's what was blocking up, obviously, these little bad boys in here. So what we'll do now is, actually, this is a good idea. So what we'll do now is turn off close the actual purge for that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open one drain, which is that one there, so we can see where it is depositing. Let me get the faithful hammer out. So as you can see now, guys, it's actually depositing, obviously, in the centre of the screen rather than going to be doubling back on itself. So, and as you can see, those drains are absolutely clean as a whistle. So I'm going to open the other drain. The other drain's really awkward to get to. It's right down there. So I'll open that now, and we are ready for a full treatment tomorrow. Lordy, lordy. It's never a smooth journey, the old koi keeping industry, is it? But there we are. Right, guys. First time for everything. Gill scrape. Lovely. I did find actually a normal fluke in the gill, but like it wasn't a gill fluke because they've got like a nasty little hook on them, and they like, oh. Anyway, yeah, I've been talking to people who know. I've got a plan of attack. I'm not going to tell anyone my plan of attack until the next video, because I don't want anybody doing something that I'm about to do do. You can tell I'm nervous to do unless it works for me. I'd be unsavory for me to say nothing. It's nothing drastic, guys. It's bog standard kind of stuff. But yeah, if it works, it works. I'll let you know about it. But again, that PP bath I done on that Sakai Fish Farm Kohaku male. Can you remember the one I showed you in the last video that had all that white gunky mucus built up on it? Wasn't very happy. 1 gram per 10 litres of water. I done a 4 to 5 minute PP bath. Fish was absolutely fine in there, to be honest. I took it out of my own accord, put it back into the pond. Next morning, all of the gunky bits were like a brown. Next morning, totally cleared up. The fish is absolutely in mint condition. So to that side of things, is actually giving me a little bit of confidence that that will actually detox a fish reasonably well, as long as it's done responsibly and not over the top. Do you know what I mean? It's probably the harshest treatment that you can do, and it's not to be taken lightly at all. I don't like using it. It scares me. Even the sound of it, PP, sounds horrible. But anyway, in that particular instance, it's absolutely worked perfectly. So anyway, I've got some Fluke Resolve Plus and I've got some Linux Pro. So I haven't used the Fluke Resolve Plus for a long time, and the last time I did use it was last year, and it did actually work. It quenched everything. So whether I was not quite as handy on the microscope and I missed something, I don't know, but it actually worked very well. So not sure if I've got enough in that packet to hit the pond with the treatment, but what I've done is, like I said, I don't know if I reiterated this, it's been a long day, bit of a stressful day again, but I'm taking it with stride. Yeah, totally sanitised the drains and the drum. It is what I'm doing now is, because obviously I've used this much water now to clean everything, purge everything, this is getting filled up again. I'm just about to do a chlorine check because I'm running this a little bit faster just to top this up for tomorrow morning. I'm going to do a little chlorine test to make sure the carbon in there is still proper banging. Still love my filter house, guys. It's still not even finished. I still haven't painted all that. Look. Jeez. But you know what? I'm building another pond. Let me go and tell you that anyway. It's more interesting. Big blue. So guys, like I said, some of you might think I'm absolutely crazy. I'm not absolutely crazy. I just can't sit down. Helps me. I don't consider myself mentally ill, but my wife certainly does. But anyway, here we go. So this is the plan. So at the moment, we have a beautiful pond here, lovingly constructed by myself 18 months ago. Yeah, I like it. But it's only 10,000 litres, 2,200 gallons, I think it is. 2,200 gallons or 2,250 gallons. So my new pond, that is going to stay in situ until my new pond is built. My new pond is going to be here, guys. So what I'm going to do is, see this grassed area? So that, my sister lives next door. That timber fence is going to be coming down. I'm going to take the wall down in between me and her because the wall is crumbling. What I'll do is I'll let you see now. So if you can see down there, that wall is pretty shabby. So that wall is going to come out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig down here. Can you see the buckets on the bottom? That will be the end of the pond. So basically it's 2.5 meters wide, 6.5 meters long. That at 4 feet gives me pretty much 5,000 gallons. This will be taken down. This will be taken down. It will all be dug down to the right height, where the drum will be exactly the right height for the pond. These stairs here are going to be taken down. The stairs are going to be situated this side, coming down to where the pond is right now. And then underneath here, So there's all my drains anyway, so they're perfectly situated. So underneath here, all of this stairs is going to be going. So from this wall here, all the way across, will pretty much be a lovely, compact, well laid out pump house. It might come out a little bit further, because if you look at this support here, it's about 18 inches away from this wall. So I might come out here and do a little 45-degree door to get into here, because again, I want a big moving bed in here, a very big moving bed. I've also got this is like a little tiny storage area, which will be inside the filter house. But the plan is take down all of this hedge here, this fence in here. I'm going to put a full retaining wall all the way down, well, a wall all the way down. Where the pond's going to start and finish, it's going to be block and flat and then tied in, basically. Yeah, and that's going to be it. And what we're going to have is, if you look at that pitched roof there, I think I'm going to have a full back on it and then a full pitched roof, so the sun can't penetrate in and get all the water green, all that kind of stuff. And then when that's complete, all the fish will go into that pond. This pond will all be collapsed into that hole. I will salvage everything I can from there. It'll all get collapsed into that hole, and this will get turfed. And this is the side of the garden that gets all the sun. And if anybody knows anything, it's not really ideal to have full sunlight on a pond. It's yeah, algae blooms and all of that kind of stuff. Yes, the koi needs some UV, lovely jubbly, enhances their colour. Well, that's fine, but we don't need pathetic amounts. And to be honest, mate, you know, when me and the boy and the wife are out here, we're always in shadow. You can see here now this is in shadow, you know, and you can see the light on the wall there. So we're missing out all of this loveliness. This is the only sun trap we've got, which is tiny. So that everything there is going to be used in there. Actually, I'm probably even going to put those doors underneath there. So everything will be used. All of this timber will be taken down loving caringly, and everything will be used to go there. There won't be 1 inch of waste. The koi tower will be dug up, moved like that, plonk over there. Lovely jubbly. People may think I'm mad. And I am very mad. But anyway, that's a score. But before I even do that, I'm going to Japan. That will be getting started in November. As soon as I come back from Japan and my jet lag is done, a spade will be hitting that lawn straight away. Like I said, I only want to do it 4 feet deep. The garden is on a slope, so I've got to be very, I don't want the end of the pond to be too high, so obviously the start of the pond is going to be quite low, and I'm really looking forward to that, because I really want to I miss the top view of the fish. So I'm going to have 2 unique views. I'm going to have a top view of the fish looking down, and also then down the bottom end there with a little seating area, I'm going to have the pond there as well. Windows, not massively keen on windows, I'm going to say, but I think they're a massive tool for keeping an eye on your koi. So what I will probably do is use my big window inside the pump house. So when I'm in the pump house, like very much like this, I can see inside. I can see the fish from inside the pump house, if that makes sense to you. But we'll see. I'm going to put pen to paper, and I'm going to have a little mess around, see what the gallonage and all that kind of stuff, and we'll go from there. Anyway, hope you like this video. I'm probably going to do another one tomorrow, because I get bored on the weekends. My wife hates talking to me, and I like talking to you. So anyway, until tomorrow, comment. Tell me how everyone else is finding flukes at the moment. Absolutely incredible. Yeah, incredible. Loads of people has asked me if I'm going to the Adam Beyer Grow and Show on the, is it the 19th? I can't remember. It's on Father's Day anyway, wherever that is. I'm not going to make it this year, guys, for a few various reasons. But yeah, it's a long way to go. I'd love to go up there. If I was a bit closer, I'd love to go. But that's about 3 hours up and 3 hours back. So it was lovely last year, because we just got out of lockdown, didn't we? And as soon as I crossed the bridge, I didn't have to wear a mask, which was a real a real treat. But anyway, hope you like this one. Comment below, fluke treatment. Anybody else have flukes? And I'll be honest with you, it's taken me a long time to reply to all these comments now. I'm going to have to get a PA. But anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys. Find me on Facebook, say hello.